Hello and welcome to another episode of See This Building? There used to be shows here. Now, I have not done one of these since 2022, I think, and that was a building in Salt Lake City. Girlfriend played a show in 1989 with Robert Tastes Good on tour. So this is the first one I've done for a St. Louis location since I want to say 21 or 22. It's been a while. But I was inspired to finally do another one. I wanted to do a bunch of these for locations to just have one or two shows, and then it just kind of I couldn't decide which ones. So anyway, I'm going to do this one today. It's called Solid 50's, and 411 Virginia, just north of Bates. And there was one show here. There was supposed to have been two, but I'll get to that in a moment. I did not expect all this traffic on Virginia. The show that did happen here was SNFU with Life Sentence. There's the flyer. And the address says 5411 to 5415 Virginia Avenue at Bates. When I looked at the Google Maps, I couldn't decide which building it was based on these addresses. There was one down there that looked like it might have been it, but I think it was this one with the glass block front. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. I think this was it. There's apartments upstairs. I have no idea. Maybe someone lives up there. Anyway, so this is the flyer. SNFU, Life Sentence, Invictus, and Ultraman. It was $5 in advance, or $6.50 at the door. So we know this was a John Green show. I don't know how he found this space. He would just drive around and find places to do shows. And this was one of them. The show was great. SNFU, of course, is always great. Life Sentence is always great. But it was Valentine's Day, 1987. And Rob decided that since it was Valentine's Day, that it should be a themed show. And he decided that it would be the Valentine's Day Massacre, which I think... No, it's not on the flyer. Anyway, this gets even weirder. I just noticed something else, which I noticed on the other flyer too. So the phone number here is 314-291-1097, which that's Matt Lauper's phone number. This is... Did John Green just find this place? I don't know what's going on. My memory, which used to be great, but I would have sworn this was the John Green show. And maybe it was some, I don't know, but that's the phone number, that's Matt's number. Maybe Matt and he worked together on this show. I don't know. I wasn't part of that. Anyway, so the set was the stage, anyway. Rob had a giant Texas Chainsaw Massacre cutout, and we had 3 TVs, I think, on stage, like black and white TVs, and they were connected to a VCR that Rob had. And I think we played a movie called Driller Killer. I could be wrong about that, but it was definitely a slasher horror movie. I had no idea there was this much traffic on Virginia. I'm gonna have to redo this whole thing on my computer. Anyway, so that was the theme, and had all that on stage. And then Rob also had this little machine that he attached an arm to. It just went around in circles, and he attached an arm to it with a pick and set up his guitar, and it would just strum his guitar. I can't remember if he did it like the whole set, like in between every song. It was just gang, gang, gang. I don't know. Anyway, he did that too. The other thing that I remember about the show, other than it being packed and a lot of fun, was SNFU had a high-top van, and at the time, I was obsessed with bands and their vans and how they had them set up. So I spent a lot of time hanging out with SNFU in their van. Really, that is the only thing I remember about this show, other than the fact that it was at this weird location that it only had one show and there was only 2. And the second show, hopefully you can see that, Scream, it was October 17th of 1987. And this gets really weird. It says upstairs, 5413 Virginia. It's just gets more and more bizarre. And I had noticed last night when I printed this out that this was a Leaping Lizards production, which was Matt Lauper and Susie Hopper. So I don't know what gives, because the story is definitely John Green related. But the numbers on here to call are Matt and Joe, which was singer for Duck Duck Goose. So this gets more and more peculiar. Maybe they did this with John's help, found the location, and then the second half of the story, I'm gonna move to the other location, because the Scream Show did not happen here. It was canceled at this location, day of show. We actually played, Ultraman played the night before in Lawrence, Kansas at the Outhouse, our second Outhouse show with Red Cross. And then the next day was here. And I will move locations where hopefully there's much less traffic. This is crazy. So I'm gonna move on down the street and I will finish the story. All right, so part 2 of the story of Solid 50s. This is actually at the very end of Compton at Highway 55, where Virginia sort of runs right into 55 here. And the night of the Scream Show, or the day of the Scream Show, for whatever reason, the show could not be at Solid 50s. And again, I don't know who actually did the show now, but my memory is of John Green putting all this together. So it was a Leaping Lizards production with Matt and Joe from Duck Duck Goose, because that was Matt's phone number on the flyer, and Joe's as well, and it even says Leaping Lizards on it. So anyway, day of show, I'm not even sure how we found out. I don't know if they called me or Green called me. I don't know who called me, but we knew to come here, and there's a doorway right there. So this is the building. It's the very last building. It's a business now apparently, but it was just a vacant. It was a house at the time, as far as I knew. And John had arranged a generator, had the generator set up, had a PA in there. Scream even managed to do their sound check. I don't think we did one, but Scream did their sound check. They ran through a couple of songs, and it looked like it was going to happen. It was I don't know if it was being rehabbed at the time or what, or how John knew the people that owned it, or how he managed to get access to this place. Who knows? But the show almost happened. There was a definite the show must go on attitude involved here, and it almost did happen. So the end of it essentially was because about 100 kids were lined up here on the sidewalk, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 houses right there. As I was saying, the crowd was starting to line up. There's about 100 people or so, like all the way down the street here. That the Wedge Bar is right there, to give you an idea of where we are. So the cops came, shut it down. We had to pack everything up, and as I mentioned, I'm pretty sure this was the lineup that had Dave Grohl playing drums. The guys in Scream, they had to pack up all this stuff. I don't know if we must have loaded in to play, and then we had to load out, of course. And we took everything back to our practice space, which was at the time in Bob Zulig's parents' basement in South County, so not too far from here, really. They came with us, helped us load in all our stuff. They actually carried stuff and loaded it back into our practice space. We left there, and we went to a party at, pretty sure it was Bill Flynn's house. It was on a little short street right off of Kings Highway there by that Quick Trip. I want to say it's not Oletha, maybe it's Filer. I can never keep my South City street straight. But anyway, it was a little concrete block house, and there was a party there, and Scream guys came with us, and we hung out, and that was pretty much it. So that is the story of this one-off weird location that only had really one show, and almost 2 if Scream had played. Looks like we were the only opening band too, according to this flyer. Oh, it says there's a stand-up comedian. No idea who that was supposed to have been. So there you go. Another episode of See This Building. There used to be shows here, or in this case, See This Building, we almost had a show here. Thank you and good night.